Hi, my friends. So today we're going to be able to reread a book, and the title is Before We Eat, From Farm to Table. My author of this book is Pat Brisson. Pat Brisson writes the words for our book, and the illustrator is Mary Azarian. Her job is to make the pictures in the book because she is the illustrator. We're going to be able to reread this book again to learn about how foods get from the farm to your table so that they're ready to eat. One place that you can buy vegetables is at a farmer's market, and this is our word for market. Can you say that word with your family members? Market. Let's get ready to clap our word market to count the syllables. Market. There are 2 syllables in our word for market. Let's whisper the word for market. Market. And in Spanish, we can say mercado. And if we look at the picture on our word card, we can see that there are lots of different kinds of fruits and vegetables where people can gather to buy them and where farmers can sell them to people. And these are fresh fruits and vegetables that farmers have harvested to sell. So we're going to be able to learn about the farmer's market, and it's a place where people can gather to buy and sell things that farmers grow, raise, and make. A grocery store is also a market too. What can you buy at the grocery store? Can you turn and tell your family members some of the things that you can buy and some of the fruits and vegetables that you can buy at the grocery store? Before we read, we're going to look at the pages in our book to remember how we read the words. So these are the first 2 pages in my book, and I need to look at the top of the page first to see if there are any words to read. There are no words at the top of the page, so I can move down and I can start reading here at the top, and then I go left to right. And now I move to this page because I'm done reading on this page, and then I can get ready to read here. First, I have to look at the top of the page. I do not see any words, so I can move down to the bottom of the page and keep on reading. We're going to be able to get ready to read now to learn all about the farmer's market and all the different steps that it takes to get the food from the farm to your table. Before We Eat, From Farm to Table, written by Pat Brisson and illustrated by Mary Azarian. Before we eat, from farm to table. So before we read, let's talk about retelling the story. It is very important to be able to retell a story. When you retell a story, that is using your own words to tell the story again. And we can use our 5 fingers to help us retell the story. We can use our index finger to tell what the story is about. We can use our next 3 fingers to be able to tell 3 things that we learned while we were reading, or 3 things that happened in the story. And then we can also use our thumb to think of one more thing we want to learn about. As we sit around this table, let's give thanks as we are able to all the folks we'll never meet who helped provide this food we eat. They plowed the ground and planted seeds, tended fields, removed the weeds. Wow, look at this garden! There are so many different kinds of vegetables. The first thing that needs to be done before getting food to the table is growing it. But before we can grow the vegetables, we need to remove the weeds so plants can grow in the soil. Let's help by pushing this tool through the soil. Use your 2 hands and hold the handles and push. Now let's hold up our index finger to tell what the story is about. Remember, the title helps us know what the story will be about. This story is about getting food from farm to table. Can you turn and tell your family members what the story is about? Now let's read to find out 3 facts about getting food from farm to table. They picked the food at harvest time, working in the heat and grime. They grazed the cattle. I see so many cattle on this page. Let's count them together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's one very far away. Fed the sows. Look at the baby pigs. They are called piglets. Gathered eggs and milked the cows. They fished from boats out on the seas. I wonder what this fisherman is going to catch. Raised wheat and nuts and honeybees. So after we help the food grow, it is time to harvest it, and it looks like the wheat is ready to harvest. This farmer is driving a tractor to collect the wheat. It is called a combine harvester. Let's pretend to drive the combine harvester carefully through the wheat. We need to work as a team to make sure the wheat doesn't spill out of the tractor. Now let's get ready to retell more of the story. Can you hold up 2 more fingers? Turn and tell your family members 2 more facts that we have learned while we were reading. Thank the ones who packed the crates, sorted boxes, checked the weights. Thank the drivers on the roads in their trucks with heavy loads. After the food is harvested and packed, it needs to be transported or taken to the store. Let's pretend to drive our trucks filled with food from our harvest. Let's wave at the other drivers. Hi! Now let's review what has happened in the book so far. Think about what happened first, then all of the things that happened to get the food to the store. We're going to use 4 fingers to retell our story so far. So we can use our index finger to tell what the story is about, and then use 3 more fingers to tell your family members 3 things that have happened in our story. And all the clerks at all the stores who did the grocery selling chores. Thank the ones who bought this food, the ones who teach me gratitude. When you show gratitude, that means you are being thankful. Sitting at this meal we share, we are grateful and aware, sending thanks upon the air. To those workers everywhere, yum, there is some delicious food on my plate, on my table. Let's pretend to eat some delicious food. I am going to eat some yummy peaches. What are you going to eat? We have finished reading our book. Now we are going to be able to retell what the story is about, 3 things we learned, and 1 thing we want to learn more about. Can you turn and tell your family members and use your fingers to retell the story? Today we learned about a market. Market is a place where people gather to buy and sell things. A farmer's market is a place where people gather to buy and sell things that farmers grow, raise, and make. If we were going to a farmer's market, what would you like to buy there? Can you turn and tell your family members? We also learned about how vegetables get from farm to table. Now we are going to be able to think of different places where we can buy vegetables. Thank you for reading with me today, my friends. Bye!